So usually it lead to race riots. Okay, so race riot tends to happen for this particular reason. Okay, second, which is due to perceived threats. In some cases, societies will go to war, okay, when they feel that their security or well-being is in jeopardy. For example, the Vietnam War happened because Americans felt that communism was on the rise in that country and feared that it might spread all over Asia. Okay, so on the second reason just now, okay, on the perceived threats, okay, whereby in some cases, societies will go to war, okay, when they feel that their security or well-being is in jeopardy. Okay, for example, the Vietnam War, okay, that happened because Americans felt that communism was on the rise in that country, okay, and feared that it might spread all over Asia. Okay, and then on the next factor, which is due to political motivation. Okay, sometimes governments will wage war for the purpose of furthering their own political objectives. Okay, so the United States, again, as an example. Okay, United States as an example of a society which takes upon itself the role of world cop or world police for the implicit purpose of furthering its own political ends, right? So we have observed like what had happened in Palestine, what had happened in Iraq, okay, whereby United States take actions in order to intervene in the crisis, okay, but it is due to their political ends, okay. Okay, the next one, okay, this is due to the moral objectives. Even when wars are waged primarily for political or economic reasons, those who commit their soldiers to battle will justify their actions on some moral grounds. Right, for example, okay, the Christian wage a holy crusades against their Muslim counterparts, whose likewise wage a holy war against them. Okay, so they consider it as in order to fulfill the moral objectives. Okay, so to conclude our discussions about the political organizations, okay, we have discussed just now there are 4 types of political organization. Okay, band societies, tribal societies, chiefdoms, and state system. Okay, so I hope that within these 4 types of political organization, you managed to identify the similarities and also the differences. Okay, for example, band societies and tribal societies, they are very much alike, but they have differences as well. Okay, and then you need to identify what are the difference between chiefdoms with band and tribal societies, and after this, chiefdoms and the state system. Okay, and we have discussed about the variety of means, okay, the informal means of social control, okay, where such as socialization, okay, and then which is based on public opinion, which is based on corporate lineage, okay, supernatural belief systems, and also which is based on age organization. Okay, and the last one, okay, we have discussed about the formal means of social control. Okay, so basically the formal means of social controls is due to intermediaries, moods, oath and ordeals, laws, and warfare. Okay, and when we discuss about warfare, you have to clearly understand what are the factors or the reasons that might lead to warfare. Okay, so with that, we have covered topic 7 for politics and social control. Okay, so we are going to meet again in our for our next topic on social stratifications. Hello learners. Okay, now let us shift to topic 8 on social stratification. Okay, so just now we have discussed on topic 7, which is related to politics and social control. Okay, so in that topic just now we have learned about human being, okay, as a social being, okay, who are living within a social institution. Okay, therefore, man needs a form of social control, okay, in order to regulate their life and also to avoid conflict. Now, in this topic 8 on social stratification, we want to see further how the society is stratified within the social institutions. So the focus for this topic is to describe about social stratification and also the factors, okay, that determine the social inequalities. Okay, so you can see that in this topic, there are two important terms that you have to clearly understand. The first one is social stratification and the other one is social inequalities. Okay, so what is social stratification? Okay, from the word stratification, actually it is referring to a hierarchy, okay, of positions. Okay, so with regard to economic productions, okay, and also which influence the social rewards, okay, to those in the positions. Whereby, in terms of social inequality, okay, it refers to the ways in which socially defined categories of persons, okay, according to characteristics such as gender, okay, age, class, and ethnicity, are differentially positioned, okay, in regard to access to a variety of social goods, okay, so such as the labour market and also the sources of income, okay, the educations and healthcare systems, okay, and also forms of political representations and participation. Okay, so let us see what will be the learning outcomes for this topic. By the end of this topic, the learners should be able to explain what are the factors which influence social inequalities. Okay, and then you need to be able to describe the various types of societies according to its degree of social stratification. Okay, and you need to be able to compare the theories of stratifications, and in this topic we are going to learn based on two theories, that is from the functionalisms and also from the conflict theories. Okay, first, let us define what is social stratification. Okay, so I have given you the basic idea just now, what social stratification is all about. Okay, so basically, social stratification here is referring to classification of persons into groups, okay, based on shared socio-economic conditions, okay, a relational set of inequalities with economic, social, political, and also ideological dimensions. So, in this topic, we want to see, okay, how far does social stratifications influence our roles in society? Okay, and we also want to see how wealth and power can be used in order to measure the degree of social inequality, and we need to really understand what social inequality is. Okay, whereby when we talk about social inequality, we have to understand that what it means as inequality here is referring to a situation in which individuals in a society do not have equal social status. Okay, so it is not only about the different group between the poor and the rich, okay, but also we know that some people get high salary and some people get low salary. Okay, so we can see that the different groups, okay, between the professional groups, okay, for example, doctor, and there are groups from the lower class, which is known, for example, the cleaners. Okay, so that is what social stratifications is all about. And areas of potential social inequality here may include voting rights, freedom of speech, okay, and assembly, the extent of property rights, okay, and access to education, healthcare, quality housings, and other social goods. Okay, for example, okay, we can see that for Malaysian ministers, okay, so they do not have to pay the electricity bills, okay, the water bills, Okay, but we, the people at large, we need to pay it monthly. Okay, so this is what is considered as social inequality. When we talk about social stratifications, we have to understand that it determines the social positions in society. Okay, sometimes we are tied to a particular social status, okay, because of hereditary factors. For example, it may be our destiny to be born into royalty. Okay, so someone will be a king, okay, because the father was a king before. But there are also cases where we can work hard in order to change our destiny, especially in a society with very high social mobility. Okay, so now we come to the other terms on social mobility. Okay, so in this topic, we want to see how far does social stratifications influence our roles in society. This topic attempts to explore the questions by discussing bases of social inequality, okay, describing the various societies with different stratification systems. Okay, and also we are going to explain about social stratification from the functionalist and also conflict perspectives. Okay, so I believe that you still remember what functionalist and also conflict perspective, because we already discussed about this in our previous tutorials. Okay, so how we are going to measure social inequality? Okay, so this is what we were going to learn. Okay, according to Max Weber, okay, an anthropologist, he mentions about 3 basic criteria that can be used in order to measure the degree of social inequality. Okay, so the 3 basic criteria, the first one is wealth, okay, and then power, and the third one is power and status and prestige. Okay, so let us see one by one. What is wealth? Okay, how he consider wealth here as the characteristics of the social inequalities. Okay, so basically, culturally speaking, wealth takes on various forms in different societies. For example, among the peasantry, wealth is measured in terms of cattle or land. It is not in terms of amount of money. Okay. However, urbanites, okay, may not quite see wealth in the same way. Okay, so you remember when we discussed about politics and organizations before, whereby I mentioned about the story of King Mongkut and the British officer. Okay, so when British officers said that in their country they do not have elephants, okay, and then simply King Mongkut interpret that England is a very poor country. Okay, so you can see that, okay, how the concepts of wealth is different from one society to another society. Okay, and then the second characteristics, which is regarding to the power. Weber defines power as the ability to achieve success despite the obstacles and also the resistance. Power is not always synonymous with wealth. Okay, it is not always when someone is wealthy, then he is a very powerful man. Okay, the other characteristic, which is referring to status and prestige. Okay, what is status? Status here is referring to manifestation of social inequality. Okay, it refers to the degree of respect that is given to an individual by society due to socio-cultural factors.